Let's see here. Yo, yo, yo. Peace, family. You guys gotta excuse the camera today. Peace, peace. See if I could do something about this lighting. So as you guys can see, I am streaming from my new channel. Figure I'll give you guys a live stream since you guys supporting Brother Yosef. You know, you guys out here supporting Brother Yosef. Peace. Yes, yes. All is well, family. Everything's going good today. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Yes. No topic. We just gonna answer questions, ask questions, answer questions, question and answer session. We're gonna do that. We're gonna just talk to you guys, and see how this goes. So I want to say thank you first of all for everybody for subscribing to my new channel. I know my old channel, I got like 66,000 subscribers. And I can't reach them right now. I got 14,000 on Instagram, so that's kind of where I put it up at. I don't really deal with Facebook like that too much. But for the people that came on here, thank you guys very much for coming on here. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, I'm still shut down for 8 days on YouTube. I can't upload anything on YouTube, New Life Tools, for 8 days. So yeah, I just want to come on here and talk to you guys and say what's up to you guys. So I'm going to do this a few minutes of question and answer on my New Life Tools. And I usually stream from my I have a Galaxy Tab 8 Ultra, which has a great camera on it. I usually stream from that. And I guess this channel is looking at my tablet as a cell phone. So I'm streaming from my laptop right now, and my Galaxy Tab won't let me stream live yet. So I'm gonna have to get me a webcam from my. I always stream my videos from tablets, but I'm gonna have to get me a webcam for my for my laptop here, so you guys can maybe better on there. So we're gonna update it. But thank you guys, man. You guys always showing support. I could just quit YouTube if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep giving y'all the information and the knowledge because I love doing this. I love talking metaphysics. I just got to watch what I say, or they'll be over here trying to shut me down over here, right? But hopefully that won't. So I got 2 strikes, y'all. I don't know when they activate my channel again if they're gonna find something and give me another 3rd strike and shut my whole channel down. But it's all good. We'll just come over here and we'll keep doing the same thing over here. All right. For all my Patreon members, I don't want you guys to worry on Patreon because I have all my videos backed up from Patreon, and I will just re-upload all the videos through this channel. All right, on Patreon. So you guys are good. Don't worry. I got y'all. And I'm going to think what I'm thinking about doing is taking all my live streams, which they're trying to erase all my live streams to speak. And I'm going to probably re-upload them and maybe sell them as a package or something, all my live streams, because they don't want me dropping that science, man. I was giving y'all some science on there, and they don't want me giving away that type of information. But thank you guys. Yes. Thank you guys for asking about the family. Everybody's good. Thank you guys for showing love and support. Everybody's good and, you know, having a good day today. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling. And yes. I also want to let you guys know who's asking for consultations. Right now, I'm not doing consultations. I know you guys keep asking for consultations, and I'm not doing it right now. And I will let you guys know. Consultations are only for Patreon members right now, who are VIP members. Besides that, I'm not doing consultations right now, family. I will let you guys know when I'm doing them again. All right, so let's get to some questions and some answers here. I haven't done a live stream on YouTube in a long time. All right, in a long time. So, all right, no topic today, y'all. Somebody said, any new hell state stories? There's always some new hell state stories. I don't like talking about hell state stories, all right? Because they kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? And if you're really experiencing that, it's not fun talking about it, you know. But I will tell you guys this: they made it very clear in the dream world that I'm being watched. Okay, they made it very clear, and if you put 2 and 2 together, you know who I am. You know who I'm talking about. Just like before I even became conscious, the secret societies were contacting me, telling me they know who I was going to be, and they never lied, right? So my information that I'm putting out, and I guess now that I go back and look at my live stream, y'all, I was giving y'all raw dog information. You understand? Yeah, they doing this and take this tea and do that. You know, I was going in. So hope y'all enjoyed that, because I'm gonna have to erase all my live streams off YouTube just to save that channel, because they're going after all my live streams where I was going in. All right. And that still may not save it. We'll see. All right. But I don't, but you know, we'll do another hell state story for another time, family. Ask me about a heaven story. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about no hell stories. I want to talk about a heaven story. You know what I mean? Which I just shared not too long ago on my Patreon. I talked about a fairy heavenly state I went to. All right. Somebody said they can't believe they caught live. Yes, welcome to the live, family. We are here, and usually, like I said, I got a better camera setup than this, but I'm gonna have to rock with this for now, family. Can you enter deep meditations or dreams states while using THC? I don't know about that, family. I would say it's more of you can I would say it's more like you can be more relaxed. And you know, some people may disagree. They'll say, hey, brother Yosef, you know, marijuana opens me up, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Marijuana opens me up, you know. And I understand, but it's different for everybody. I would say no, it can't help you enter deeper dream states. Now, can it help you go deeper in meditation? Yeah. I would say that THC can help you go deeper in meditations because of the type of relaxing feeling that you're getting. But I don't think it could help you go to deeper dream states, in my opinion. All right. Do you have a spell to repel squirrels from my garden? They still are citrus. I don't have a spell to repel squirrels, family. And I'm not a gardener either. So I can't tell you really no good stuff that can really keep squirrels away, because I know that if you put stuff on top of the ground, my teacher Imam used to have a garden in his side of his yard, and if you put stuff on top of the ground, they're just gonna dig from underground and snatch your stuff underground, right? So it's hard to keep them away. So I can't help you with that, family. Sorry for asking this question. I know you don't like talking about left-hand path, but can one still evolve and grow their conscious spirit and soul if they choose to walk the left-hand path? Yes, you can still evolve and grow if you choose to walk the left-hand path. Right-hand path, the left-hand path are all paths to enlightenment. All right. So if you're trying to be enlightened, you can walk any path you want. The question is, are you studying and growing the right way on these paths? Some people teach you how to do spells, and some people teach you real evolutionary magic. So that's the only thing I would say, family. If you're learning how to evolve on the left-hand path, which I gave y'all a video on, I won't do another one, then yes, that's what that is, family. So yes, you can evolve if you do that. All right, to answer that question, family. Do you have any recommended mediums? You got any recommended mediums? I don't know any that I recommend. I have a friend of mine who I wish that she would become more spiritual, because if she did get into her mediumship, she would be amazing. But she's on the borderline of like Christian and metaphysics right now. But she read to me one day like she knew me all my life. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say her name and put her out there, but I wish she become more metaphysical. I'm working on that. I don't know. I don't have any that I recommend, family. I'm sorry. I don't have any that I recommend. But there's a lot out there. There's more mediums and psychics out there. Bro Joseph, I'm a young man in his 20s this month. Why do I feel so old? It could be because you have an old soul. You probably have an old soul, family. Any rituals for ancestors for Halloween since it's coming? Yes, Halloween originally is all about the ancestors, and somehow it got perverted, right? Halloween became perverted, and it became more about slasher movies, murder, killing, monsters. It became more about that. But All Hallows Eve was originally all about the ancestors. Okay. So I would say that the best ritual you can do for Halloween is make your ancestors a nice plate of food. Cook some food like you're cooking for the whole family, and make a nice plate of food for your ancestors on Halloween. Because the veil between the earth and the spirit and the physical world is very thin during this time. And, not just for the ancestors, make some stuff for the gods. Right? If you've been trying to get something from Lord Ganesha for a while, it's the time to do it. Because the veil is very thin. If you've been trying to reach your spiritual parents, this is the time to do it. Right? So I would say the ritual you can do is make your ancestors a nice plate of food, and burn a lot of ancestor money and give them as much light as you can give them during Halloween. Because if they evolve, you evolve. Because they live inside of you in the quantum realm. I've done that many Halloweens, and I would recommend you guys do the same. All right. Let's see here. Yes, peace and love to everybody. Are we able to meet our old astral bodies from past lives in the astral realm during astral projection? Yes, if you know who they are. If you don't know who they are, you can't meet them. But if you know who they are, absolutely. Can you explain the spiritual meaning behind mental illness, like anxiety? That's a good question. That's a good question, family. So mental illness, especially people that's born with it, right? What it is, family, it is a part of the soul that has been traumatized. And because of trauma, that you're missing that part of the soul. You're missing a part of your soul, okay? Because of the trauma. That trauma causes mental illness in the next life. So let me give you guys an example. Say we lived in a place that was surrounded by water all the time. So say that every time you walked outside, you lived on a boat and there was nothing but water. Say we lived in water world, right? And because we live in water world, you got a person that died of drowning in a past life. They drowned in a horrible way. Maybe somebody forced them and killed them like that. So maybe somebody murdered somebody from drowning them, right? That person is going to come back in the next life terrified to even live because of what they're surrounded by. I'm just giving you guys an example, right? When a person is born with a mental illness like that, they're missing a part of their soul. It's a soul sickness. So their soul is sick. And it's sick because it's missing a piece of itself. And one of the hardest things to heal in this world is the soul. That's why when I hear people telling me they got issues and I know it's a soul issue, I immediately tell them, go find a shaman. Have them get you with the ayahuasca and all that stuff. I have a real shaman do some interverse travels with you and heal that soul part of yourself. All right. So that's what I would say with that, family. That's the spiritual meaning behind mental illness. It is a piece of your soul that's missing. So anxiety, same thing. It's a fear based on trauma, right? And until that fear is healed, the soul won't be healed. Same thing with depression. Same thing with a bipolar, right? This is all aspects of I'm not saying something wrong with a person where they can't live, right? I'm just saying, in my own opinion, that that person would definitely have some problems with the soul. Okay. But I got to be careful answering questions like that, because that's what they shut me down for in the past YouTube. Medical misinformation. And this is, I don't do medical advice. I'm gonna have to give a disclaimer before I do every video. But that's Brother Yosef's opinion. I'll just say that. That's what's going on. Okay. How do we walk the right hand path? What's the methodologies, philosophies, and evolutionary practices? Well, if you want to know those practices, family, you got to join my Patreon, because that's pretty much what I teach and what I talk about. Certain practices people can do on the right hand path, certain things that will evolve your soul, right? I even given away certain incantations for defense. I've taught people how to deal with the Malachim scripts, right? Using the Malachim angelic scripts. So I actually teach that, family, that's all I talk about. And I teach on my Patreon, right hand path. But that's a lot to explain. The methodologies, the philosophy, the evolutionary. But the goal from the physical realm of the right hand path is to gain a light body. You want to gain light, and you want to gain a light body. Some people call them Merkaba. But that's what you want to gain, family, so that you can evolve to the next level. All right. Peace, family. Can certain dreams be blocked by beings, such as your spiritual parents, if they deem you not ready for certain experiences? Yes. In my opinion, yes, that they can be blocked. They can be blocked because if it's just like extraterrestrials. If you're not ready to deal with certain groups, they will shield themselves and make themselves look like regular people until you're ready. Okay, so yes, that's very true. That certain groups and certain and your spiritual parents will block themselves if you're not ready to deal with their energy. Right? That's a fact. I believe the reason why my spiritual father came to me so openly is because I was already ready consciously to experience that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna tell you guys this, right? I personally am not religious. I don't believe in Jesus Christ. But I remember in the astral plane where I saw what Christians are praying to. Their astral version of Jesus Christ, right? So the question is Jesus real? He never, in my opinion, he never lived on earth. He never existed, right? But it's impossible to have that many people praying to a person named Jesus, a power, entity, and it not be real. The original idea of Jesus was actually just a lamb, the Lamb of God. That's originally what it was, right? And I saw in the astral plane one time a bunch of Christians below me praying, and the prayers coming up to this person who had a lamb face and holes in his hand. I saw this entity in the astral plane. He had a lamb face or some type of, sheep face or something like that. And he looked very powerful. But I know that this being is nothing but a thought form. It's not a real deity. So it's impossible to have that many millions of people praying to a God, and the energy of it doesn't exist, right? As a thought form, which means that if Christians stop praying to it, it doesn't exist anymore. Gods don't work like that. Gods exist whether you believe in them or not. Okay, so that's how that goes, family. These entities are thought forms, especially the Christian entity is a thought form. I never told nobody about that, but I actually saw what people could deem the Lamb of God or Christ in the astral plane. And I saw people of all colors praying, and I saw the energy of the prayers going to this being who had on all white, had his hands up like this, and he looked dead at me. And I said, that's got to be the thought form that people are praying to. It's pretty interesting. Very interesting. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Full moon rituals. Oh man, I gave so many of those away, family. I think I might want to go to something a little bit different, family. Patreon, YouTube. I got so many moon rituals I gave out. You're the reason that I keep Tulsi and Pau Diarco in my house, family. And I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it, Brianna. I'm glad you like Pau Diarco and Tulsi. But the first video they ever blocked me for was Pau Diarco. Medical misinformation. And they shut the video off. That's the first strike I ever got. Pau Diarco. And I mean, they had that video up after 30 minutes of it being up, they shut it down. So I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad it's helping you, family. I'm glad you keep it in your house. It is something to definitely, those two teas are something to definitely keep in the house. Divine teas, family. Incredible. I just gave some Pau Diarco to my brother yesterday who wasn't feeling well. All right, so yes, you're very welcome. I'm going to keep giving y'all information. They shut this one down. I just created another YouTube. I was thinking about doing something on my website, but my website better get shut down by a hacker, which one almost tried to get in there. Then all my stuff will be gone. So Rumble, I'm trying to upload my stuff on Rumble, but Rumble is playing games. They're not uploading all my videos. I don't know what's going on with them. So yeah, we're going to see, family. We're going to keep this thing going. All right. First day joining Patreon and first time catching. All right. I'm glad to hear that, family. Usually my live streams, y'all, is in Patreon. So all the live streams I've been doing is in Patreon for the most part. It's the first live stream I've done in like 2 months, 2 or 3 months on YouTube. Is the Anabacoic a solar prayer? No. Not a solar prayer, family. Just a regular divine prayer. Let's see here. Yes, happy Indigenous Day for sure. Somebody said they had a dream last night and Rod Hayes was in it. Shout out to the brother Rod Hayes. Another brother that they always trying to block. They always trying to block his stuff too. Yes, but happy Indigenous Day. I saw your movie recommendation, The Astral City. Do you have any other good movies we should watch? Yeah. I like Transcendence. Transcendence is a very good movie. Okay. Oh man. A friend of mine just texted me and asked me if I'm gonna talk about. Ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I got love for that for her. Yeah, somebody said somebody said that what's her name? Sister Aset. Yeah, I heard about it. She said she wanted some of Brother Yosef. What's her name? I forgot her name. Sister Aset something. You know, the lady that practices the Priestess Aset. That's her name. Priestess Aset. Said she wanted some of Brother Yosef. She said she liked the big dudes, man. And I'm sorry, sis. I'm married. I'm happily married. You know, if I was single, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I love you, sis. It was great meeting you in Atlanta. You was a really cool person. You know. Yeah. So, let's see here. Let's keep going. But yes, happy Indigenous Day to everybody. Good books about the Anunnaki, all of them. Get every book on Anunnaki you can. That's how I learned about Anunnaki. And then my information started going from me learning about them through books, through me asking questions in the astral plane. See, that's always the goal you guys want to get to, right? You guys want to get to learning how to astral travel, which we all do when we dream, but learning how to control your dreams. And what you want to remember to do when you dream is to look at your hands, right? Looking at your hands will wake you up in your dream. That's a secret. Look at your hands and you'll wake up in your dream. And the more you do it, your brain will naturally just start waking up when you have dreams. All right. But that's how I started getting more information about the Anunnaki. I'm actually going to do a video soon about what the Anunnaki are doing today on my Patreon. Was thinking the other day, was curious if there is a metaphysical breakdown on snowflakes. Just now realizing the sacred geometry in them. Yeah, there's nothing really metaphysical about it. It's just a vibration that's in the air at that time that creates those snowflakes, family. It's the vibration. Gratitude, bro. Do you know any Naga Eye mantras? Yes, but you know, that's not hard to find, family. You can literally type in Naga Eye mantras. I don't know them all, but there's a bunch of Naga Eye mantras, family. But thank you for asking that question. And I hope you guys are enjoying those Naga Eyes for all those that took the Dragon Magic class. Can you work on Saturn? Can you work with Saturn and still be considered right hand? Absolutely. Because you got to deal with Saturn, whether you're right hand or left hand path or middle, whatever you call yourself. You still got to deal with Saturn. Saturn's going to be in your chart. Brother Saigon, yes, all is well. Glad you made it to the live. What's the best and strongest metal to use for an amulet or medallion? Travis B. Bro, peace, bro. What's the best or strongest metal to use for an amulet or medallion? That's a good question, because it really depends on what type of amulet you're making. It depends on what type of amulet you're making, family. Let me give you a prime example. If you're making a love amulet to increase your love frequency or to draw love to you, you want to probably create a copper amulet, right? You want your amulet to be copper because that's going to do with the Venus frequency. If you're going to have a amulet that's going to be protective, you're probably going to want to have some type of steel or iron amulet. So you want to have an amulet that has iron in it if you want a protective amulet. You see what I'm saying? So I can't just name one metal. You have to, it depends on what type of amulet you're making or medallion you're making, family. All right. Hope that answers your question. All right. Peace, brother Yosef. Became a member of the tribe some time ago, and I really can't find the documents, templates, or affidavits and tribal stuff. Where can I find them? Okay, Alexander. I want you to write this down. admin@tpministries.org. Shout out to Minister Atian. He runs the website for us, pretty much. And he handles all the technological stuff in there. If you cannot find your documents, or you can't get an affidavit stuff, contact Minister Atian. If he does get busy, if he doesn't contact you in like a couple days, contact me, and I will contact him. So if you're a member already, you can hit me on chiefnawadiyawi@gmail.com. chiefnawadiyawi@gmail.com is for members of TP only, and also for VIP Patreon members. I got different emails for different things. All right. That's chiefnawadiyawi@gmail.com. It's not for consultation setups for regular people or anything like that. But hit me up there, family. Because if you haven't been able to find your affidavits and documents and stuff, that's an issue. So hit us up, all right? I recently watched your video on tattoos. Is there a tattoo you recommend for drawing more grateful energy to you? There are definitely mantras and prayers that you can tattoo on your body that are very powerful. Om Mani Padme Om. I always talk about that one. You can do what's another good one? You can do the Gayatri mantra. It's called Gayatri mantra. And that's a very good one. That one helps pull more light to you. You can also put certain prayers on you, like the Anabacoic, the 42 letter name of God. All right. But you don't want, there shouldn't be a energy to draw gratefulness. Gratefulness is something you want to practice. And after you practice it so long, your subconscious mind will draw it to you. All right. So I don't want to give you a tattoo for being more grateful. I want you to practice being grateful, and the energy will naturally be drawn to you. If that makes sense. All right. That's what I want you to do, family. All right. My sperm plus my lady's menstrual blood and juice will increase my life force. Allegedly, allegedly, that's not something I can say. I can get knocked down for medical misinformation. Sorry, family. They be knocking me down for everything. But that is in a book called, that is in books. You can read that for books. It was considered to be a elixir of life. Right? It was considered that. But I'm not going to tell you if it increases your life force. But it was considered elixir of life in the ancient days by alchemists. All right. Have you actually traveled to the pyramids? Yes, many times. And I can tell you right now, the pyramids give off a frequency, right? And you're more lucid. You're even more. I notice I can fly faster. I feel more powerful when I'm near the pyramids. And the first time I ever went to the pyramids, it's funny because the first time I ever flew to the pyramids, that's the first time I went to the inner earth. So what happened was I went to the pyramids, right? And I was flying around them, and I thought about going into the inner earth. And next thing I know, I was being sucked up I saw the hole, right? And I was being sucked up and I went up into this portal and it took me into the inner earth. It was weird. So I tried to go down into the portal, but I went up. And it was another portal and it took me into the inner earth. And I remember when I was down there, I saw a waterfall coming from the clouds. That's the first thing I remember about the inner earth. I saw a waterfall coming from the clouds, or what looked like the clouds. But as I looked around, I could see in a far distance what looked like houses and kingdoms and whatever, different structures of buildings looked like they were sideways. Everything, so the gravity was different down there. I don't remember seeing animals and stuff like that, but I remember the trees were humongous. And I remember hearing weird noises that I don't hear on Earth. And I remember in the far distance as well, seeing things flying around, like what we would consider the spaceship. That's what I remember about the inner Earth. And it kind of freaked me out because that was a whole nother level. I've been on different planets. I've been on spaceships, but to see a world where everything would curve like this on the inside. I've been inside the middle earth, the center earth. Now, people say, Brother Yosef, don't you believe the earth is flat? How could we talking about the middle of the earth, right? Or what they would call the center earth. So that's more of a bubble shape, even though we would consider the earth to be a dome. I don't think it's flat. I think it's a dome. All right. How do you go about meeting your spiritual parents? That's a good question, family. I'll talk about that on my Patreon. But the truth is this. I'll tell you guys, right? The truth is this, and this is the truth. If you really sit down and meditate and think about this, there's a God that you're attracted to for some reason. Okay? You're attracted to them. You don't know why you're attracted to this God or this goddess. Right? There's always a God and goddess that you don't know sometimes until you look. But there's one deity, for some reason, this deity just calls out to you. You're just attracted to this deity. And that's because it's your spiritual parent. Now, your spiritual parents are always listening to you. One of their jobs is to watch over you. So if you literally say the word spiritual parent, they're going to listen to you. If you ask them to come to your dream, all you have to do is say, spiritual parents, come to me in my dreams. Now, if you're ready, they'll just show up. They'll show up as themselves. If you're not ready, they're going to show up as regular people, so they don't scare the hell out of you in the dream. All right, that's something you can try. Ask them to come visit you in the dream, and you will see them. My first spiritual father, before I knew what a spiritual parent was, he came to me in my dream, and I wasn't even lucid dreaming back then. I couldn't do lucid dreamings back then, but he came to me in my dream, and the dream was lucid. Right. Yeah, I love y'all too, man. Much love to everybody. Much love to everybody. Can you share a daily shadow work routine we can follow? Yes. What you can do, family, is go to a time when you went through abuse, a time when you went through something in your life. What music, right? What music was popular during that time? So if it was the 80s for you, you need to play some 80s music. If it was the 90s for you, you need to play some 90s music, right? Sometimes these musics will release things in you that you didn't even know was in you, right? I talked about this in my Patreon one time. I said, yo, I thought I was over my teacher Imam being gone. And my wife left the house, she went to one of them painting with a twist with the wine with her homegirls and all that stuff. So I'm home chilling by myself. I think my daughter's at her grandma's house. And I'm washing dishes, right? And 3 nights before that, I kind of woke up teary-eyed because I just had a dream about my teacher. And I miss him, right? To this day, y'all, I miss him because I feel like where I'm going in life, the things I accomplished already, whether people know it or not, I wish he was here, you know what I'm saying, to really say he was proud of me, you know what I'm saying? Even though I do talk to him in the spirit world, right? So 3 nights ago, I kind of went through the day and got it out of my mind, right? So I remember I was playing the music and I had different 90s music playing, which is my favorite years, right? 90s. So long story short, Aaron Hall came on. I miss you. I'm talking to you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And even though that song was about a female that died and he was saying he missed her in the video, I started thinking about my teacher. It brought up an emotion about my teacher that was very hard. Like, I cried like a baby. I'm going to keep it real. But I needed that because it showed me there was still something in here, residue, that I need to work on. Look, Teach gone, bro. You know, your job is to move on, remember what he taught you, and move on. Teach he's gone. He's moved to the next round, right? The next dimension. There's nothing you can do, Joseph. So that I will recommend people play your favorite years of music or play, shoot. These days here, it ain't too much R&B. They even saying that R&B is dead today, right? That's what they saying. So I would say go back to the 90s, the 80s, the times when you was going through what you went through. Some of y'all might even need to play some church music. Some of y'all grew up in church and went through abuse, right? Sometimes church music will pull that out of you. You might need to play some John P. Key or some Freddie Hammond. You know what I'm saying? And these things, Kirk Franklin, whatever, these things will pull it out of you. Okay, so that's an easy shadow work ritual that you can do in your spare time. Sit quietly by yourself and just play some music and just sit there and think and see what emotions come up. See what you start thinking about. That's the stuff you need to work on, family. All right? That's something I still do to this day, just to make sure everything is good. What happens when you play the Enema Korg or the Easter Vagina Durrani to your altar? It helps them, family. It helps uplift them. I recommend you do that. Yeah, I like the movie Dream. What was it called? Morpheus? What was it called? That was a pretty good TV series, y'all. That was good. YouTube shocked me with that. I was ready to give up on YouTube. They shocked me with that one. Do you have a personal Orisha? No, I don't. I never really worked with the Orishas that much. I gotta be honest. I worked with a couple of voodoo deities. My wife worked with the Orisha. She worked with specifically Yemiya. That was her, it was Yemiya for her. But eventually we went on a cruise and she started dealing with, after her experience she started dealing with Isis. And then Isis moved on from her. But she still deals with Isis, family. More Soul Knowledge TV. Shout out to you. Yes. Shout out to the TP members. Let me tell y'all something, man. All my TP members that's on here right now, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Don't ever think Brother Yosef gonna play y'all and we not gonna do what we said. Stuff is still moving. We're actually thinking about next year doing a big powwow for all the TP members in Atlanta. All right, so that's something we're thinking about planning for next year for the TP members, family. But Brother Yosef is diligently looking for land to the point where it stresses me out sometimes. We got the money, we just got to find the land. And it's getting harder and harder to the point where I'm thinking about buying some land in places I never thought about before, just to grab something. And I say, hey, we'll slowly build it up. I need some unrestricted land. See, the trick they're doing is they're putting the land is restricted, or sometimes they'll have these HOAs on the land. So yeah, we'll sell you the land, you can do what you want, but it's an HOA, meaning that you can only do what you want so far. See what I'm saying? I can't have that. You're not gonna play me like that. I need unrestricted land. So shout out to the TP members. Thank y'all for being loyal and faithful. I'm not gonna let y'all down. Also, for the ones who have IDs, you can get with Minister Atian. You can update your ID card. So your ID card, you can use it to travel and everything else. And travel, I mean by airplane, bus, train, whatever. Not by car. Not by car, family. All right. Why do some people who claim to be in the occult go back to Christianity? I've seen videos of the past occult saying they had to go back to Jesus. Did Jesus not like the occult? Well, Jesus was an occultist. If people really, that's a good question, family. Jesus wasn't an occultist. If people really study him, he was an alchemist. And Jesus, turning water into wine and all that stuff, that was alchemy. And Jesus, I think the main reason why people go back to Christianity is because they were never really into magic. Now, we've seen that. If you've been around a spiritual community long enough, you've seen people go back. YouTubers go back to Christianity. And I think that those people were never here for that. They were never here for magic or spirituality. They were simply just 1 foot in, 1 foot out until they had enough and they went back to Christianity. That's what I think. So I'm not sure why they fully do it, but I think they do it because they just want to see what's on the other side. And then they get scared and they run back. They get scared and they run back, family. Thoughts on the moon being a projection, the moon and moon magic. I don't think the moon is a projection. I think the moon is real, but it is a artificial. Okay, let me rephrase that. I think the moon, in my opinion, the moon is artificial, and the moon is a satellite as well, and it was put here by the Andromedans many, many, many years ago. Okay, so the moon is a satellite that holds extraterrestrial civilizations inside of them. Right, so the moon is not round, in my opinion. It's a dome shape. That's why it never spins. We never see the whole moon. It never spins. You only see the front of the moon. That's it. It doesn't move. And the moon is a satellite that was put here, and it has space stations inside of it. All right, that's what I think about the moon. But it gives off a frequency, the moon itself, that connects with the astral. So the moon has a frequency that astral entities can actually go inside the moon as well. The frequency is different inside the moon. Not so much on the outside, but on the inside of the moon. So the moon is here on Earth, and I believe the sun is here on Earth. So I believe the moon is here on Earth, and I believe the sun is here on Earth, and they rotate inside the dome. The stars and stuff you see at night, that's all artificial. That's a hologram. The space is a hologram. All right. But the moon and the sun is real, and the moon is artificial, but they rotate inside of the dome. In my opinion, family. Let's see here. Why do some docs and why do some do's and don'ts when dealing with crystal grids? Okay, I would say some do's is make sure you charge the grid or you program it when you may create it. And once you do it, don't move it. If somebody moves the grid, you throw the whole grid off, which means you have to put it back together and you have to reprogram it again. All right, those are the do's and don'ts for the crystal grids. And also make sure you know what type of grid you're creating. Don't just put some crystals together and hope something happens. Make sure you know what type of grid you're creating. Right, the main centerpiece of the energy is going to be focused from the middle of the grid. So whatever you put in the middle is going to be the main focus of the energy. All right. What does it truthfully mean to be a empath? An empath is somebody who feels from their heart. An empath is someone who has their heart chakra not just open, but activated. Saigon, that's what an empath is. They're a person who can feel and do things from the heart. Okay? And empaths have to be careful because they're always being challenged emotionally. And as an empath, you have to learn how to control your emotions. So that's what it truthfully means to be an empath. Your heart chakra is activated and open, and you work from there. So you can sense and feel things around you and people around you. That's what an empath is, family. All right? Let me see here. How long have I been on here? 49 minutes. All right. Let's see here. Hi, Brother Yosef. I was abducted last night, and an extraterrestrial told me that there will be a frequency let out soon. Any thoughts? Can you talk about the hybrid program? Ashe. Always you, Ruben. You always asking me them questions. I believe, family, and there's a few people that talked about this as well. I'm not the first to talk. Well, I've been talking about this for years. I believe that very, very soon we're going to have an interaction with some extraterrestrials on Earth. I believe that. And I also believe that there is a frequency. I also believe that there is a frequency being let out all over Earth that will wake up certain people. I don't want to talk about the hybrid program. They're already trying to shut me down. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Maybe on my Patreon, right? But there will definitely be frequencies let out for the chosen. Let's just call them that, right? And this stuff will activate certain DNA inside of our body. But it's really to prepare us for what's to come. And what is to come? Extraterrestrials are coming to the planet eventually. I don't know the day or the hour. I just know what's going to happen. Sometime before 2030. Hopefully it happened this year. Pray to God it happened, right? But something is going to happen. I've been talking about this since 2020. I've been saying this. We're going to eventually interact with extraterrestrials. All right? And Ruben, you're always trying to get it out of me. You're always trying to get some extraterrestrial information out of me. But that's all I'll say about that. Because I'm noticing the more I talk about extraterrestrial information, the more they're attacking me. The more they're trying to shut them in. And what I mean by that is the 2 strikes I got against my channel, y'all, were from Patreon videos. I thought they were from YouTube, regular YouTube videos. I had to re-look at them again and figure out, oh, these are Patreon live streams. Patreon live streams. So it's things I'm saying on Patreon live streams that they don't like. They're shutting off the videos and trying to strike me. And shout out to brother Rod Hayes, because I know Rod Hayes is a lot of what he's saying is true. And they're always trying to shut him down as well. It's the reason why they're trying to mess with certain people's page and they don't try to mess with other people's page. And like I said, I've had a dream very recently. They made it very clear that they're watching. And they made it clear before I even became conscious. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I told you guys this before. I was going to pick up my wife one time, and I just got finished praying to the god Anubis. Some of you guys are new to my channel, so you probably never heard this story. And the reason why I was praying to the god Anubis was because my cousin, who passed away from a heart attack, I saw him being killed over and over in the hell state by a Jason-looking person, right? I don't know what this thing was, but it looked like Jason. And it had a humongous butcher knife, and it kept stabbing my cousin in the heart, and he was reliving his heart attack over and over and over. So that's why I first learned to be sincere with the gods, and they'll help you. So I cried and prayed to the god Anubis, but I couldn't go back to church. I had just left church. This is 2010. I left church in 2009. I left church, and I couldn't even afford to go to his funeral. His funeral was in South Carolina. I couldn't even afford to go. I didn't have no money. So I felt bad about that already. All I could do was pray for my cousin. And I prayed to the god Anubis because I heard that he helps people. And Anubis, and when I prayed to him, I knew that my prayer was answered. And that night when I went to sleep, I saw my cousin in white, showed me the child he was going to have in the next life and everything. Now, my cousin was mentally handicapped. He was a 40-year-old man, but he had a 15-year-old mindset. So he's a 15-year-old in his mind, but he was a 40-year-old man, right? Long story short, y'all, they made it very clear on this point that they was watching. This when I knew my magic was like important. It was like people noticed it. And I didn't even know they had helicopters like this. So I go outside to go pick up my wife from work. I get up, wipe my eyes, go outside, and I saw a helicopter, y'all. Blades turning everything. It wasn't making no noise. It was all black, and there was men with helmets inside the helicopter, very low to the ground. And they looked me dead in my eye. It's like they were looking for me. It's like they were waiting for me to come outside. It was weird. They looked at me and they just flew away. And I'm sitting there in awe because in my life, I've never heard a helicopter that doesn't make noise. To this day, I haven't seen one. Now, I'm pretty sure people in the Air Force will say, oh, that was a such and such. I don't know, man. I've never heard. When I see helicopters in the sky, you can hear them all the way from the top, from the sky. You can hear helicopters. I've never seen a helicopter like this in my life. Even when I watch movies of people doing secret stuff. But this helicopter was spinning. The blades are spinning. There was air pushing, right, on the grass and stuff. It didn't make no noise. It was quiet as any. You could hear a pin drop outside. And it blew my mind. And I started thinking after a while, after many years of thinking about this, family, I started to think about this. This thing wasn't a helicopter. I might have been looking at a UFO. I might have been looking at some creatures on an actual extraterrestrial ship. Because after that experience, I started seeing ships like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. And it didn't make sense to me. And I've never seen it again. And I don't think that this was a ship, y'all. I mean, a helicopter. I think it was a ship that was posing as a helicopter. Somebody was watching me. Somebody was watching me. And they were trying to get in close. So they made it very clear, family. Very clear. All right, let me move on. Hello, brother. Do you have any ways in increasing visualization? I can really see images that well when I picture things in my head. So if you need help with visualization, family, you're going to have to learn how to focus on one thing at a time. And you're going to need to learn, you're going to have to train your imagination. It's true. I thought it wasn't true, but it's true that some people do have a problem with their imagination. And if you have trouble visualizing, you got a problem with your imagination. Somehow that was stripped from you somewhere in life, that it wasn't important. And your subconscious mind believed it. So you're going to have to reprogram your subconscious mind. I recommend getting the book, Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I recommend everybody getting that book. It really changed my mindset and taught me how to use my subconscious mind. And I want you to focus on, like, prime example, if you're meditating, focus on the sun. Just focus on yourself sitting inside the sun. If you can't do it the first night, cool. Try it again. And try it again and try it again. It's going to take practice, family. Okay? That's how you increase that. Some things don't get better unless you practice them. All right? And that's what I recommend for you, family. All right? I'm turning 18 in November. Do you have any advice for the financial side? I don't give financial advice, family. Plus, I don't give financial advice. Plus, you're 18. See, that makes me weird. That makes me think, like, who are you, family? Because this video apparently is not for kids under 18. So I always feel like somebody trying to set me up. You're literally saying I'm turning 18 in November, which means you're underage. You shouldn't be watching this video. All right? Any advice on the financial side? I can't give you no advice. You're just a child, family. All right? I'm just a metaphysician. If you're under 18, please don't watch these videos. It's another way for them to get me. What are some examples of being stronger than Yahweh? What are some examples of beings stronger than Yahweh? Are you talking about being stronger than Yahweh or being stronger than Yahweh? So we're talking about full-fledged. If we're talking about beings who are stronger than Yahweh, we're talking about full-fledged deities. If you understand Yahweh, you understand that they didn't evolve naturally. They use technology. Okay? And if you really study the Elohim, who are also called the Anunnaki, but the Elohim, they prefer Elohim. They don't like the term. They actually don't like Anunnaki. They told me that literally. They don't like the term Anunnaki. They prefer Elohim. So the Elohim are scientists. If you really understand how they fit into the galaxy as extraterrestrials, they are scientists. And they are the best scientists around. They pretty much achieved whatever they wanted to with technology. And they also have technology imprinted into their bodies to make them more godlike. Okay? That's who the Anunnaki or the Elohim are. They are partially divine. They have not come from the overworld. The gods we're talking about, they have a consciousness that stretches to the overworld. The Elohim don't. Okay? The Elohim are nothing but fallen angels, just like we are. But if you really study deep and go deep into the Elohim, and sometimes you won't find this unless you really ask entities in the spirit world, the Elohim are actually from the future. And I've talked about this before. And the Elohim are really us from another universe who've already evolved millions of years ahead of time. So they came back in time and created us from their own DNA. That's where your body comes from. You are a child of the Elohim. So they're multidimensional. And they're probably, in my opinion, top 3 most powerful extraterrestrials in existence. Yes. There are beings out there that don't look human that have evolved naturally past the Elohim. Absolutely. There are many beings, actually. So what I mean by evolve past the Elohim is that the Elohim has technology that can stretch to the 9th dimension. They can't get past that, though. So they had to take their bloodline and evolve naturally. And that's why we're here. If we make it out, they make it out. That's how it works. So because of that, they have souls. They're partially divine, but they're not divine like us. All right? So the other beings are fully divine, if that makes sense, family. Somebody said, is Krishna the real Jesus? That's a very close thing to the real Jesus, Krishna, the Indian god. Somebody said, who is Krishna? Krishna is an Indian deity who's more divine than Anunnaki. Absolutely. And it's a real deity. What does it mean when you have the aura around your crystal grid? That means the grid is generating energy. It's working. The grid is generating. It's working, family. And that's a good sign. Because what's going to happen is the aura is going to increase to the point you're not going to see it because it's stretched out around your house. And depending on how big the grid is, it can have up to 1 mile radius of energy. Very powerful. All right. Let me scroll down. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off here in a minute. I want to do my first live stream on this channel. And we will continue to do this. This person said, Brother Yosef, no offense. It's all love. Have you tried connecting with Lord Indra's wives? No, I have not tried to connect directly with Lord Indra's wives, but I've seen them. And man, they are gorgeous. I have never seen an ugly goddess. Let me keep it real. I have never seen an ugly goddess in my life. Even Kali, I've seen Kali before. Kali is dangerously gorgeous. Dangerously gorgeous. And what I mean by that is you kind of look like you don't want to mess with her, but you start telling yourself, I kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I like a little wild woman when you see her. And you know good and well that's not how it is. Kali's a gorgeous being. I've never seen an ugly goddess. And I've seen a lot of goddesses in distance and travels. Here's a good question. Somebody named Righteous asked this question. Hey, bro, Yosef, how does the Galactic Council interact with gods? What's their relation? That is a good question. Thank you for asking that question. Because I've learned over time not to just give y'all information. I ask questions based on what people ask me, the level people ask me. That's a good question. So let me tell y'all something. Like I said before, y'all, there's many levels to gods. The Anunnakis are what you call demigods. Okay? There's levels to creation. The Galactic Council are over different projects, just like the human project or the project that is running on Earth. We're not the center of the universe, y'all. There's other worlds that have just as much intelligence as we have that are being guarded and watched by the Galactic Council. Those beings have the right to evolve to gods as well. That's the goal, is to make every being evolve to a deity. The gods usually have one specific being. Usually it's Thoth. But sometimes other gods that comes down and sets up councils for different purposes. We talked about the Council of Worlds, the Council of Planets, the Andromedan Council, right? The Syrians have their own council. The Draconians have a council. You have a deity that comes down. Sometimes dragons come down for different reasons. And they set up these councils for the sake of beings doing their job for them that they may not have time to do. Gods are very busy. So a lot of times, fans, what I'm saying is councils are created by one or two gods to do a specific work to be closer to humans that they can be. Right? They're answering prayers. They're running universes. As a god, their job is not to do everything. Their job is to put people in position to do certain jobs for them. And that's where the Galactic Council comes in. The Galactic Council was created by Thoth. Right? And some aspects of Lucifer. But at the same time, family, these beings put these entities here for different reasons. And one of the main reasons of the Galactic Council is to give mankind an adversary and watch them grow. Let them make their mistakes and watch them grow. And nobody's allowed to touch humans. To come down, and what I mean by that is come down and destroy them. You can't go down and just kill humanity. That's why we haven't had an alien invasion or even asteroids hit the Earth. Because we're protected from that type of stuff. Right? Of course, gods can snap their fingers and do, but they got people in position that can do that. That's kind of how that works. So the gods interact with the Galactic Council by way of setting them up and putting people in position. Right? Some extraterrestrials work with the gods. Some extraterrestrials work with demonic forces. They work with demons. That's how that works, family. And you do have negative councils that work with disrupting humanity and creating destruction for humanity. So you always down here in the third dimension have two sides. But I hope that answers your question, family. The gods interact with the councils by setting them up. All the councils you know of, whether good or bad, were set up by the deities, one or two deities. And that's their relationship. So the council reports information back to the deities, to the gods. Because every council that I know of has a super divine being on the council that reports information back. All right. Somebody said, what type of video games do gods play? I don't know any god that plays video games, but they do love the fact that they're in certain games because, that's how they can be worshipped in some ways. A lot of guys keep their worship being worshipped through video games. All right. All right, family. I'm about to head out. Herschel, what's up, man? Hey, brother Joseph, do you know about Hashish? I don't know what that word is. Hashishan. I'm not sure about that, family. I'm not sure what that is. But we could talk about that later. Do you know about deification? I do. If you're a God at the absolute sense, why not try to connect with the spirit of God and live in bliss down here instead of dealing with other gods? That's a good question. So if you're a God at the absolute sense, why not try to connect with the spirit of God? Because you still have responsibilities as a human. Your job is not to totally deny. You can't live in bliss down here as a God. You have to leave here and go live as a God somewhere else. You can be here as an avatar, which means that the God can work through you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happens on Earth. Gods work through humans. But you're not down here as a God, right? You have responsibilities. Some of y'all have children. And usually it's probably a young person asking this question. But some people have responsibilities. You have children. You have a wife, a husband. You have families you got to take care of, family. You know what I'm saying? You have families you got to take care of. So you just can't live down here in bliss as a God. You can live in bliss and raise your consciousness to that level. All right? But you don't need to be as a God to live in bliss. Right? You can reach enlightenment or nirvana and live in bliss. You don't have to be a God to do that, family. All right? So, yes, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the information on here. We'll do another one. The next one will probably be on Patreon, but if y'all look for my Patreons, Bro Yosef on Patreon. But yes, I'm glad you guys came in here. We had 58 people in here. Usually we got like about 1,000 people in here on Patreon when we do live streams. But we starting all over, so it's all good, family. But thank you guys for being here on my first live stream on this channel, New Life Tools Forever. And we're going to keep the information coming out. My next video will be on a Phoenix. Okay, so I have the video for the Phoenix coming out on this channel very soon. And yeah, we're gonna get it in. If y'all can, spread the word. Brother Yosef got a new channel. And spread the word, family. All right, it's Brother Yosef. I love y'all, and I will holler at y'all in the next video. Carlos, you just came in, man. Oh, you saw it. Excellent live. Okay. All right, family. I'm starting to see a lot of people I see now. Yes, peace to everybody. I love you guys. Check you guys out in the next video. Peace, family.